I'm Mark Luciv. I handle the energy sectors. A lot of you know me. Thank you for attending the forum. I really appreciate you participating in the DTC, and some of you were involved with our cybersecurity session this morning. We've got a lot of good topics here that we want to put on the board, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
So, please represent your interests that you want to see. So there's a lot of good stuff. So thank you very much.
And to Brian's point, this is exactly where we need your input.
Hi, I'm Paul Steinitz with ARC. I handle a lot of the end user business. Let me know if you need anything. Happy to help. This is my European colleague, Mario.
Hi, my name is Mario. I'm working for the European team, and welcome to all guests. And we do host DTC in person in Barcelona too. Thank you.
Mark, you're hiding back here. No, you can say hi anyway.
Hi, I'm going to say hi later, but that's okay.
Okay. So thanks, guys. What we're going to do now is get to the leadership team nomination process. And this is something we do every year, and we kick it off here. So, whoops. So just a little bit about the leadership team. So again, we hold them every year. We did have to hold them virtually February of last year instead of doing in person just because we had to switch the forum to June. But again, it's really, to say it again, it's about really talking with each other, coming together as a leadership team, understanding how to drive the conversation forward. We're going to get into what the responsibilities are here in just a second. But the leadership team is absolutely critical to making the DTC go. It really is. These are the folks that help us not only within their company, but actually they have lots of peers outside of their companies at other companies that they bring in to help us learn and help us engage with each other. So it's a very, very crucial part of the success of the Digital Transformation Council. The leadership team is composed of some ARC folks, which we'll get to here in just a second, and the representatives from the DTC itself, of course. And we meet every other month. It's not a heavy load, but it's just something that we require some energy of the members because the enthusiasm of the leadership team is really what makes the community itself really go. So as I mentioned, it's a meeting every other month, and then there's maybe some email exchanges back and forth, an occasional phone call, except for Mike because he never picks up the phone when I call him, right, Mike? But here's the responsibilities and expectations. So it's really direction on web topics and agenda. So we'll get to the voting process. We'll get a list of things that you'll want to discuss this coming year. And what we often do is we use the leadership team to help refine that. So we take it from maybe a concept that we're going to talk about, and then we really put it into a specific angle, or we talk about how things have gone well or poorly, and then we shape the actual theme of the meeting itself. So they're very critical to helping us do that. So we also ask that they actively help participate in these meetings. So that really takes three different roles. The first one is acting as panelists themselves, because our leadership team has we've been really fortunate to have a very strong group of folks. So actively talking about subjects that are passionate, that you're very passionate or knowledgeable about. And also helping us identify other folks who you think might be very knowledgeable and who would want to speak, and help introduce us to those people or help get those people on board with us. So that's another really critical role for the team. And then there's also just, input on strategy, input on policies and rules. If and we make any kind of changes, we always want to make sure those changes go through the leadership team itself. And again, this occasional participation outside of the every other month meeting, it's really kind of it's an email thing mostly. It's not a heavy lift. It's just something that you might be expected to do over time. And then if there are any issues that come up around some of the gray areas that we're seeing a lot more of now, where you could have manufacturing companies that are heavily selling services and just trying to make sure that the spirit of the community remains intact. and that we keep this, this community itself really end user centric and full of just end users, because that's how we can have open and honest dialogue. So I want to thank our 2022 team. It was a great group of folks, and as you can see, it represents a lot of different industries, a lot of different roles within these companies, and that's again what makes this group grow. You have so many different perspectives that you can learn from, and you have so many. I think Brian is not kidding when he said that one of the most useful things of this community is learning what not to do, or what somebody did that you just avoid. Those things are great, and it can only be done by having this diversity of representation. So we can just blow past these, but Mark, I guess you'll get your intro. So this is the ARC team. We don't have Valentine, who's in Europe, and he runs a lot of the efforts over there. And Peter, unfortunately, is out sick at this forum, but hopefully we'll be here a little later this week. And here's the election cycle. So we kick off the nomination here. We go through a verification process. We go through the vote, then we go through the announcement. So I'll just walk you through that here. We will have the nomination opportunities that will begin today, and then we will also send out an email for a link to vote again if you are not present. If you vote today, there's no need to vote online. It will just be, it'll be a duplication. Then we go through the verification process. So when you do vote today, one of the things that you will see is that we ask for your contact information. So if you've nominated somebody that is not you, and you can certainly nominate yourself. If you nominate somebody that's not you, we just want to go back and actually make sure that that person is open to you, asking them to be part of the leadership team. So we just close that loop. Takes us a couple days usually. Then we'll send out an email on the 27th with a link, and that will actually be to a ballot to the voting process itself. We'll tabulate all the votes, and then we'll announce that on March 7th. So that'll be the Tuesday just before the next meeting, which I believe is on the 14th. And there's a question from the back.
I'll hear me. So it's not really much of a question. Again, it goes back to if you're going to be on the DTC, kind of our expectation that you participate in the panels or a topic this year. So that, again, it's not the same small group of us that keep being on those monthly panels.
Yeah, absolutely. So we understand everybody's busy and that you can't be engaged 100% all the time with the community, but we just ask that you do set aside some of your energy for participation, and that when you participate, you bring that energy. Because everybody who is not new, who has been here before, will tell you this community really provides value if you engage in it. Like anything else, if you don't, it's not worth it. But if you do, you will learn things you absolutely did not know before. So if you want to nominate somebody, this is what you'll see here. Again, as I mentioned, we want to just get your information just so we can understand if we need to get back in touch with you to hunt down the person that you might have nominated. That's all that's for. It's not you nominating yourself. However, feel free to nominate yourself if you're interested in being on the leadership team. So if you guys want to take a moment, there's the QR code. There's a link at the top, and wow, it's really not viewable, but I think the QR code should work for you. If anybody's have any problems, just raise your hand. We'll see if we can't sort it out. And I should mention, if you are new to the DTC, to this meeting, you can feel free to vote. There will also be, toward the end of the meeting, a spot where you can jump in and register yourself.